In this video, I'm going to show you how to use our indicator generator to generate your own indicator files for ThinkOrSwim. These are going to be the Volatility Box models that you can plot inside of your ThinkOrSwim platform directly. Now, I'm going to walk you through the process of both generating the update we provide every single week, along with generating your one-off indicator files. So this video will be almost two parts. First part will be doing the weekly updates. Second part will be if you want to generate an indicator file for your own watch list. Now let's start with the weekly update process first. If you come inside of the indicators page, on the right-hand side, you'll see that we have a weekly bundle. Now this is a bundle that we update every single week for about 115 stock names that are liquid, and we update this constantly. This is our list that we use every single week in terms of our default Volatility Box indicator files, and we make that available to you as well. Now, if you noticed, I said 115 symbols in this file list. There's a lot more symbols we support that aren't in this file list. The reason for that limitation is ThinkOrSwim. I've noticed the unspoken limit is about 100 symbols. I push this file to 115. That's where I've noticed performance starts to stagnate, and we use some clever tricks for this file right here. So if you are looking to generate your own indicator file, try to keep this list down to about 100 symbols or less. That way your files can be optimized for the ThinkOrSwim platform. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you have unlimited downloads for the indicator generator here. So don't think that you need to group together a lot of symbols in one file to quote unquote maximize it. Another thing you should notice is there's a week date range here. You can use this to make sure that every single week you're downloading the most up-to-date models for that upcoming week. So those are two things to keep in mind before we get to the download process. Now let's start first with our pre-generated indicator files. If I click this blue zip icon, that will then download the indicator file on our desktop. Now here's what that looks like when it's downloaded on your platform. You'll see a zipped folder. If you're on a Macintosh, you should still see the same thing, but it will just be a zipped folder that instead of following the steps I'm about to do, you just need to double click the folder and your Mac will automatically unzip the folder for you. If you're a PC user, simply click on this folder, right-click, and then select Extract All. If you select Extract, this will then unzip the folder, and now you will have the 4 ThinkOrSwim indicator files inside. These are ThinkOrSwim indicator files that end in the study.ts extension. Don't try to double-click any of these files. By default, your machine will try to play this as a video because it doesn't understand the ThinkOrSwim file format. These 4 files are the indicator files, which we can import directly into ThinkOrSwim. In case you are curious about the symbols that are in this 4 file list, simply click on this PDF, and that will then open up the full symbol list that you have inside of the indicator file for that week. Now, if we come back to our ThinkOrSwim platform, if we navigate to this folder with these 4 indicator files, you'll notice that ThinkOrSwim recognizes these files and lets us import them as indicator files. So let's go ahead and walk through that process. So now inside of my ThinkOrSwim platform, I'm going to start by clicking the studies icon in the top right corner. Once you click the studies icon, this then pulls up the studies menu. Click the import button, and this will then allow you to use ThinkOrSwim's built-in feature to import indicator files. Now notice this is the same folder we were in, unzipped. If you haven't already navigated to the folder, be sure to navigate to it, and inside you will find these 4 indicator files. Notice that they end in study.ts. That's the study.thinkscript extension, and these are the ThinkOrSwim file formats. So here we have our 4 different Volatility Box models. Now, how do you read these files? Well, notice all of the daily models will have TI_VBD for Volatility Box Daily. So we have the daily aggressive and the daily conservative models here. And the hourly models will have TI_VBH, and you'll have the aggressive and the conservative models. So now I have all 4 of these indicator files. I'm going to choose all 4 and then click Open. Now, if this is your first time importing into ThinkOrSwim, that will be the end of the process. These indicator files will automatically be in your platform. If this is your second week onward, then when you go and import these files, ThinkOrSwim will give you this notification asking you, hey, do you really want to replace these files, overwrite them? Be sure to select yes here, because as long as you select yes, that will automatically update any study sets, any styles, any pre-configured settings that are already linked to these 4 indicator files. So once I click yes 4 times, now all of these indicator files have been updated and my models are ready to go. You can search for the models by coming inside of the search panel here and look for either TI_VBH or TI_VBD for both the hourly and the daily models. Now, so far, you've learned how to download our weekly updated indicator files. Now let me show you how to generate your own indicator files, either from your own watch list, or maybe it's just a one-off that you want to generate because it appeared on our scanner, whatever the reason may be. Let's start with the watch list approach first. If you'd like to generate a watch list indicator file, simply click the drop-down list and select a watch list that you have available. I'll choose my favorites here, and if I see I have Apple, Microsoft, and Take-Two inside of this list. I click Generate, and now I have the 4 different indicator files ready to go. Before we download these indicator files, notice the names of these one-offs. You'll see that the one-offs have slightly unique names, so ThinkOrSwim doesn't automatically replace our pre-generated indicator files. So that means you're safe and protected from importing these one-off files directly into your ThinkOrSwim platform. Now, similarly, let's say instead of just this list, you wanted to add a few others. Simply add in that list, click Generate, and we will regenerate the indicator file for you with a new indicator file. To download this, simply click on this link, and that will then download that indicator file directly into your platform, which you can go ahead and import in just like we did before, except this time when I go searching for it, you'll notice that the indicator file is already there, and I can simply add it, come into my chart, say load in a ticker like Take-Two, and boom, I have the models ready to go inside of my ThinkOrSwim platform. If I were to switch to Home Depot, you'll see it's still supported. Same thing with Lowe's. But if I remove now our default indicator files and I come into something like SPY, you will not see anything plot because SPY is not inside of this indicator file. So there you have it. That's the second way to use the indicator generator by directly generating your own one-off indicator files and importing them into ThinkOrSwim. Hopefully through this process, you saw how the charts and the scanner make this much faster and easier by letting you see the models directly inside of the platform. But for those times when you do want to see them inside of ThinkOrSwim, and at the very least our pre-generated set, it's really nice to know how to walk through this process. I'll see you in our next video in which we'll bring everything that we've learned together so you can start volatility trading at the edge with an edge.